Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I have another Poundland DIY for you. This one here is very much themed around the fact that they're all kind of neutral, all a little bit Scandi, more inspired I reckon. They're all very, like I said, neutrals and greys and whites and golds. And I thought that I would put them together in today's video, just group them together because I have a few gingerbread ones coming as well. And I thought I would do that in a Poundland gingerbread man inspired DIY as well. So that'll be coming next week sometime. But yeah, today's video is obviously a Poundland DIY as I've already said, and it's in the title and you're already aware. So I'm just going to stop rambling and just get into the 3 DIYs that I made for you today. So of course I was going to be doing one of the Paint Your Nutcrackers from Poundland this year. This is the little set that you get. It comes with like the primary base paints, but just because you get those paints doesn't mean that you have to, you know, paint your Nutcracker in them. So I went ahead and removed the little moustache from the Nutcracker because I didn't actually like it. I then realised there was loads and loads of hot glue below that, and without, you know, messing up the nose to remove the glue, I thought that I had to remove it. So I did that, I pulled it out, and then I just cut off all of the hot glue and then hot glued the nose back in. It was just a simple little peg and fully removable. So I then took some white chalk paint. This is just the Rust-Oleum in the chalky white in the white furniture paint, and I just painted basically the whole of him in this colour. I did actually accidentally just get a bit carried away and swooped it over his face a little bit, but I did wipe that off and just sand it back to the natural colour over around his face. Once all of the white chalk paint had then fully dried, I went in with a black Posca pen and just outlined the little boots on the Nutcracker, and this was so that I could get a really neat finish on the edge. Once I'd outlined them, I then went in with a tiny little paintbrush, as you can see here, and just painted in all of the rest of the details. So I actually did the majority of this off camera because it had to have my full concentration. I then decided to add some metallic into the piece because I find when you add metallics against some matte, it looks much more expensive. So I actually used this metallic leafing pen by Rust-Oleum again, and this you can buy off Amazon and everything like that, and I'll leave it linked down in the description down below because it is the best gold marker pen you will ever have in your whole entire life. I went back in and did more detailing with that gold pen and my black Posca pen just to put on his little face. I did 2 eyes and a moustache, and then I just did a few little more details off of a camera, including painting his hat and that sort of stuff. On his little kind of bit down here, I did a little bit more detailing with the black Posca pen, and with the white one I actually added detailing to his boots. So as you can see here, this is what the little Nutcracker turned out like as I was finished. I absolutely adore it. I think it looks worlds away from the original kind of like paint your own design, and also I just think it matches my colour scheme as well as sitting in front of this granite just perfectly. So moving on to the second DIY for today's video, I'm actually using this birdhouse, which was from the spring range in Poundland, but if you're lucky enough you may be able to find some in the sale in the garden section, or they may just have them outside. I know in a few local Poundlands they do have like garden bits outside of like the store and stuff, so be sure to check out them. I often find like, you know, things from last season and stuff like that in those sorts of bits. So I painted it in a dark grey colour, and then I moved on with a white chalk paint. I dusted over the whole thing to make it nice and shabby chic-y like, and then painted the roof in a white also. Once that was dry, I then did a thin layer of Mod Podge and added some of this fake snow, which I also got from Poundland. I just kind of popped that on there, patted it down to make it look really nice and snowy, and I also did that around the bottom kind of rim where I painted that white as well. So I was going to be painting the front part of the birdhouse, but because I didn't actually want it to look like a birdhouse, I just turned it around and I painted all the designs that I wanted to have on my house on the back, so that kind of looked like the front. I wanted this to look like just like a little like farmhouse or like a little cottage or something like that, just cute to lay down on the fireplace or on the sideboard. So yeah, I turned it around and then I painted on the details on the back. Like I said, I painted on a little kind of arch doorway, and I wanted that to look quite woody. So I took another dark grey, put loads of little lines going upwards, and then did a little bit of detailing in with my Posca pen, as well as painting on a little doorknob and a little post box. So I thought like it needed a little bit of colour. So I thought, I know, I could put a little wreath on the door. So I just painted one of them on as well. For the windows, I made them in a white, and then I just put
kind of 9 little squares in each to act as the panes of the windows, and I think that looks really, really lovely. I actually seen some little mini like driftwood houses at a local craft fair recently that had these little windows on, and I fell in love, so I'm really happy to have recreated them on this piece. I felt like it needed a little bit extra green, so I actually just went and like did this little garland thing around one of the windows, and then I added some little shines of white in the windows, and I added a few little details off camera, so I hope you're excited to see those, because oh my goodness, I thought I'd keep the best till last, you know. So this is the front of the piece completed, with the top window also done with the little shines on, and on the side I actually painted a little milk churn. Can you believe it? Now my camera doesn't want to focus that much, but I promise it's there. Like, it's got a little bit of plant coming out of it on that side too. And then on the other side I wanted to make like this little trough with like Christmas trees coming out of it, and there's a bit of snow on top. Isn't that awesome? I don't know, just love it. So moving on to the third and final DIY today. Would this be a Poundland Christmas DIY without some pom-poms? I didn't think so. Mr. Carrington has influenced us all, even though, you know, we all love pom-poms anyway. But yeah, he made a fantastic pom-pom wreath, and that got my pom-pom juices flowing, and I felt like I needed a pom-pom garland for my living room. I have a few dotted around the house, but none in my living room. Anyway, so all of these walls came from Poundland, and I got the super chunky ones. I got this grey colour, I got a white, and then I also picked up an off-white with a few coloured specks in it, which is a really, really lovely colour, but not quite what I was looking for. So I actually used my pom-pom maker to make my pom-poms so they was all like the same. In order to do that, you just want to wrap it around one side or wrap it around the other until like the both semicircles are completely full. No, close it on itself, clip down those 2 little clips, then just snip, 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 snip all the way around the middle until your pom-pom is then kind of looking like a pom-pom. You'll then want to take a little bit of the wool you made the pom-pom out of, and then just wrap it around that centre piece. What I like to do when tying my pom-poms off, I know a lot of people do it differently, is I do one big knot on one end like so, pull it tight. You'll see me do that. Come on, pull it tight, yes. And then I wrap it around again so I get to the other side of the pom-pom maker, and then I do the same, knot it, pull it tight, and then I will do a final knot just to keep that knot in place so that it isn't going anywhere and it's super duper tight. To collect all of the little fuzzy bits from this stage, I actually used the lid to a Poundland gift box. I absolutely love the little Nutcracker gift box in there, and I actually have it full of pine cones. So not only are the gift boxes great in Poundland, they also work well as cute little storage boxes. So yeah, there's a tip. I just went ahead and shaped my pom-pom using my scissors to make sure it was nice and round, nice and fluffy looking still. I then made 2 of these, and I made about 8 or 9 in a chunky white. Once all the pom-poms were then done, I took a long strand of a thin white wool, and then I just tied them around using the 2 kind of long strips that I had left. This is why I didn't cut them off in the last stage, by the way. I always keep them, and then I just tie it, double knot it, and then once it's secure, I just cut it down so that it blends in with the rest of the pom, and it looks like you've put the garland bit in it. And the best part is, you can even like move the pom-poms up and down if you don't space them out correctly, because you didn't actually put the garland long strand in the pom-poms. That probably makes no sense, but it's adjustable. That's what I'm gonna go for. So once I had all of my pom-poms on and spaced out, I actually just put it on my fireplace as so. I think it looks so cute, and the soft textures against the natural like stone there, I just think are beautiful. I love the white on it because it just stands out so much, and I love the 2 grey ends. I just think they look so nice with that chunky wool, and I am in love with this.
So that is the end of today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I know all 3 were really quick and easy to kind of do. I say that, and some of them actually took me a couple of hours. That little Nutcracker actually took me forever to get all of his details right, as well as the little birdhouse turn house. That honestly, I reckon it took me about 4 hours in total, which seems absolutely ridiculous for a little house, but I like to make things just the way I like them. I'm very particular, you know? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video and enjoyed watching it back in such a short amount of time. There's something so satisfying to me when my videos take so long to film and then I condense it all down for you. I don't know. Just, it's so satisfying for me to watch back. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed it and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!